In an exclusive interview with our own McCullough Medina, the Long Beach City Auditor is detailing serious concerns about oversight, missing records, and why those problems weren't caught before millions of taxpayer dollars went out the door.
Hi, McCullough is live at Long Beach City Hall with what he's uncovered. Mac.
Well, Michael, Kathy, the city auditor says this wasn't just a paperwork issue. She says this really was a systematic breakdown of the city's homeless bureau that made it very difficult for her department to track how millions of dollars were spent.
I take my job very seriously. We take these concerns very seriously.
Long Beach Auditor Laura Dowd is deep in a multi-year-long audit of more than $69 million spent between 2020 and 2025 on combating Long Beach's homeless problem. The city awarded $24.6 million of that money to shelter operator First to Serve, where Dowd says she found serious red flags.
There was some missing information from some of the documentation. In some cases, there was no documentation.
Was the city of Long Beach getting the services they were paying for?
That's one of the things our audit and our investigation is diving into deeper right now.
Has this been referred for criminal investigation?
So can we stop the camera for a second?
Dow needed a moment to answer because she says it's still an ongoing audit.
I've been advised not to address those questions regarding criminal investigation at this time.
When we reached out to First to Serve for comment, a PR firm responded for the nonprofit, writing in part, "Our leadership was recently made aware of allegations of irregularities connected to a former employee." Neither First to Serve or the city would elaborate more. First to Serve says they are cooperating with Long Beach's investigation and have launched one of their own. Dowd says First to Serve is not the only contractor they're looking at.
We are looking at another.
One other or more than one?
One other.
Dowd says the city's homeless bureau leadership should have seen the red flags long before her audit did. Some were in plain sight, like First to Serve's address, operating out of this residential home in South LA, not a business office. When we tried to knock on the door, we were met with these restricted area signs. Trying to get a hold of the CEO. And when we tried to contact their CEO, we were told we could only leave a message with the receptionist because their nonprofit does not operate using email, only in person or by phone. The PR firm didn't comment on that.
That would be a red flag for us as well.
This is a pretty considerable contract.
As it turns out, at least 2 city council members also saw red flags before First to Serve was fired. In this city council meeting in November of 2025, Tanua Thrashintuk and Megan Kerr both raised issues when First to Serve's contract came up for a vote.
I know we've had several members of the public come before this body who have had some concerns.
They said their concerns were more about customer service issues with First to Serve.
How have we looked collectively at some of those concerns on the whole?
Both wanted a further analysis from Homeless Bureau Director Paul Duncan before they would take up the contract.
I think to get deeper into that, is a little bit challenging on the spot.
That city council meeting would be the last time First to Serve's contract came up in a public hearing. Behind closed doors, Auditor Dowd says she raised her concerns with the city soon after that council meeting. And 4 months later, on March 31st, it was announced the contract was terminated and the city transitioned to another provider. We reached out to both council members for comment, asking them to elaborate on their initial concerns, if they felt they had sufficient information to make an informed vote, and how they viewed the city's Homeless Bureau oversight of the contractor in hindsight, but both did not respond.
Should have this been caught sooner?
Yes, I think the city does need to do a better job.
Dowd says the city's Homeless Bureau is now tightening controls, including stricter review of invoices and better verification before any payments are made.
The city council did vote to approve recommendation to contract with another agency.
The changes were evident last week when the Bureau switched providers for its still unopened youth homeless shelter, making a last-minute change and citing billing concerns with the city's original choice. It's the latest, though, in a pattern of costly missteps for the Bureau. In 2025, they botched a tiny home project that wasted $2.9 million after buying 33 units and being unable to find a location to house them. In 2024, the agency drew criticism from shelter workers who say they failed to provide adequate support for staff, even as more than 60 people died from various causes while staying in Long Beach shelters since 2021. And despite 5 years of effort, the Bureau's main goal of reducing homelessness is failing. According to Long Beach's point-in-time counts, the number of unhoused residents have surged by more than 76% since 2020, far outpacing the city of LA that had a 5.75% increase over that same time period, and the city of Oakland, which is a similar size to Long Beach, that saw a 35% increase. Long Beach did have a slight decline in 2024 by 2% before increasing again last year by 6.5%.
Should there be some accountability for the mistakes that were made?
Yes.
All right, so what will be that total accountability? Dowd says she'll have a better understanding once that audit is complete, which she believes will be at the end of the summer. We also reached out, by the way, to the Homeless Bureau Director Paul Duncan for comment. We did not hear back. This comes as we wait for the 2026 numbers when it comes to homeless here in Long Beach. And a lot of residents here will be asking if the city's job is working or not.